Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Indie Advocates Presents the Crowdfunding Report. We're going to jump right into the program. I am your host, Mr. Anderson, the Indie Devil and Indie Advocate. Which side of me you get depends on how you treat me. Sometimes the Indie Devil can be playful, but more times than not, you want to be interacting with the Indie Advocate. All right, guys, let's jump into our amazing list of crowdfunding. Now, on the show, we're going to give every Kickstarter 60 seconds that has a video. If they don't have a video, we'll just give them a quick intro. And speaking of an Indiegogo that doesn't have a video, this is from my hometown. It's Bricks on Cape, a LEGO fan experience. All proceeds are going to go to the actual autism awareness world. And as you guys know, our site is blue this month for autism awareness, so how awesome is that? Now, we're super excited to be part of trying to advocate for it. Please take the time, go over there, and donate even $1. Let's make sure that we can raise autism awareness this year. All right, we're going to put $1 on the clock, and we're going to give Nook that 1 minute to impress us. Alright, that's all the Nook gets. I hope it impressed you. To see the rest of the video, please go over to Kickstarter now. And mind you, there's not a lot of time left, so jump onto the platform right after this show. Look up Nook or come to our site and look on the top of the page. Go to where it says Now Crowdfunding. Also on the program this week is Frontera. We're going to let them take it away. Put 1 minute on the clock for them, starting now.
Welcome to the Flash of Dawn show. Today we are presenting the planet of Frontera,
known as the Pearl of the Universe.
On Frontera, there are 5 clans of alien species, each resembling different animals.
But this flourishing planet is being threatened by the Fearless.
They have destroyed many worlds, and word has it that Frontera is the next on their list.
But never fear. The unison of Allegiant Stars is sending its mighty Tagma to face this threat.
They will be escorting the Arcus Solidyne on its maiden voyage to Frontera. Speaking of Frontera, we have the discoverer of Frontera, Best Frontera himself, to shed more light on what you can do to help this project.
Brochachas and Brosevskis, please.
To see the rest of that amazing video, you're going to have to go to Kickstarter and back the amazing Frontera. So if you're going to go all the way to Kickstarter as well, might as well back it. And speaking of something to back, here's the Toro 1 and 2. We're going to give it 1 minute.
Hi, my name is Trevor Talbot, and I'm the writer and co-creator on the book Datura. My fellow co-creator, Diego Olortegui, does the pencils and inks on the book, while Gab Contreras does the coloring and graphic design. Datura focuses on the sibling love and rivalry between the introverted bounty hunter Datura and her outspoken kid sister Dahlia. Datura is as if Jyn Erso from Star Wars Rogue One was a bounty hunter and had an annoying kid sister who screwed up every single mission they embarked on. Datura is a sci-fi action-adventure comic stylized as a cross between the movie Blade Runner and the comic Tokyo Ghost. Issue 1 is already done, so the funds for this Kickstarter will go towards the production of Issue 2, the printing costs of Issue 1 and 2, and the shipping costs. Our hopes are to make Datura an ongoing series for as long as Diego and I are able to.
Alright, if you guys can jump on over to Kickstarter, you can help make that an ongoing series. But for us, we're going to keep on going. You don't know Jack, how I became a pro wrestler. This ends on 4/12. Let's give it a minute.
Morning, Real Jack Swagger, we the people, and I have an exciting announcement for all you comic book fans out there. I've teamed up with Square Circle Comics, and we are coming out with You Don't Know Jack, the Jake Hager story. Now, I need your help, we the people. Please donate to the Kickstarter fund below to help all the great artists, comics, and people behind this comic book. All right? And we'll get this thing made and out to the public as soon as possible. Very excited about this project. Please help if you can. We, the people.
I love that slapping sound, because that slapping sound is the man hitting his chest. That's something his character used to do. Someone who's a character and a half is a teacher turned into vigilante to avenge the death of his former student. It's Cornrows, and it's a Kickstarter. We love pick of the week, I guess. Kickstarter loves the project. Whatever they do, the project we love thing. Cornrows actually got that, so let's give him a minute. So that's the end of the time for Cornrows on this show, but it'll be back more than it'll be back next week. But don't wait till next week to get that one last chance. Back it now. Speaking of something to back, I think we can't play this video for some reason. No, we can. We'll give it 1 minute. No, I was right. We can't play it. At least not that part. Here we go. We'll give him a minute here. This is the Haunted Cowboy. We'll see if the video plays. If it doesn't play, we're just going to have to move on. I apologize. Nope, I don't think we're going to get this to play. Unfortunately, because of the copyrighted music at the beginning of this, we're just going to have to move on. Will-O-Wisp, which, let's see if this will actually work this week. Last week it wouldn't work for us. It's an LGBT paranormal romance about a boy named Noah who moves to the hometown of his recently deceased mother. It's blown up on Kickstarter. Definitely something you check out. And speaking of checking out, check out David Blake's Luceria presents Tinseltown Director's Cut. And we're going to go ahead and give them a minute because our minute's up for the other one. And here we go. Back to the races. Come on.
Hi everyone, this is Andrew.
Some of the world's first female police officers. Crime drama, the story of Abigail Moore, that was inspired by some real-life history. In 1915, some of the world's first female police officers were working for Universal Studios Hollywood. Tinseltown is also a tribute to my mother, Miriam Lucarelli, who proudly served as a Pittsburgh police officer for over 20 years. Now here's a closer look at Tinseltown.
From creators David Lucarelli and Henry Ponciano, the team behind the Children's Vampire Hunting Brigade. Tinseltown.
I was born in 1894. My father was an officer for the LAPD. The last time I saw him, I was 15 years old. He and his partner were out on patrol.
You're going to have to go see the rest of this amazing Tinseltown video on Kickstarter. And while you're there, why not check out the Hayward Saints for Us?
Hayward Saints 8, Federal Offensive Responders, U.S. Division, is a story about 8 divine-appointed heroes fighting to prevent Armageddon as part of a global tactical unit. The Targeted 8 logo is a symbol. It is a promise that Hayward Saints 8 will target threats to global security, but they will find that in their offensive peacekeeping efforts, they have become the targets themselves. The evil underworld in all its apocalyptic glory wants to destroy mankind. Demons, ancient evil, aliens, and corrupted humans are all out for blood, but our hero force won't back down. This is the debut of beautifully designed and developed heroes, including Awesome Angel, Intergalactic Knight, Gix, Ultra Ghost, and the Mighty Mammoth Monk. I love writing. Hayward Saints 8 is an adaptation of my self-published novel. I have 4 issues written in this origin series, and they are ready for art production. Your backing this project will pay my amazing production team to create the comic hero force of my dreams. It is everything I love about entertainment and built from my passion of movies, animation, culture, science fiction, fantasy, and gaming. I have done non-profit work for years with our concept and preview materials, hosting...
All right, guys, it's time to move on. But you don't have to move on. You can go check out that project on Kickstarter today. Speaking of checking out a project, check out Heroes of the Golden Age. Alright guys, their minute's up, but now we got a minute for Flying Sparks Volume 2 Mob Ties.
Readers, prepare yourselves for an emotional roller coaster like you've never seen before. Metagirl faces a mysterious villain with incredible powers. Johnny fights in a deadly mob war for control of Los Angeles. Even if they survive, can they make it through together? Find out by backing Flying Sparks Volume 2 today.
Alright, moving on to Genuine Comics Double Feature Ajax and Dream Girl. Mike Watson talked about this actually on our radio program.
Campaign. My name is Dave Brink from Genuine Comics. I'm the creator of Earthling, which was a comic book we funded a few years ago through Kickstarter. It's a series that's going strong now, so we decided to branch out into new titles, so explore more of the world our comics take place in. And so we have 2 new titles for you. One is called Dream Girl Sleeper Agent, and it's a story about a young woman who can manifest herself into dreams where she fights nightmares. It's awesome. Both books are finished, done, ready to be shipped. So check out the Kickstarter campaign. We have a lot of goodies to choose from, and here is Jeremy.
Thanks, Dave. Really appreciate it. Hi, everyone. My name is Jeremy Scott Browning, and I'm here to talk about the other half of the double campaign, which is the comic Ajax Awakening.
And if you want to find out more about Ajax, you're going to have to go to Kickstarter. And make sure you watch the entire video. It's pretty badass. Speaking of badass, here's Maggie the cat. This one's definitely going to be a video we're going to have to cut into.
INDIE Comics in 1996. Maggie the cat became the unfortunate casualty of the collapse of the comic industry that saw Marvel Comics forced into bankruptcy. The story remained unfinished for years. Not wanting to simply abandon a good character, I wrote and rewrote a screenplay, adding greater depth to the character and complexity to the plot while tightening the story into a blend of action and suspense with enough twists for a pretzel factory. What began as a sort of female James Bond evolved into a story that's more Hitchcock than Fleming, with characters and relationships that are far more complex than they started out. Maggie began as a guest star in John Sable Freelance issue number 11. Sable is hired to provide security for an exhibition of rare gems and meets a lady cat burglar who proves more than his match. Maggie returned to John Sable Freelance number 16 to enlist Sable's help in recovering a top-secret formula stolen by an unlikely gang of thieves. More recently, Maggie appeared in Sable Ashes of Eden, where her burglar skills helped Sable battle a terrorist plot to detonate a nuclear bomb.
Alright guys, you're going to have to go to Kickstarter to see more about that amazing project. But now we're going to jump into a brand new world. And I give you Dorfe's Gene. Oh, we're doing this again.
Hello, how you doing? My name is Dorfe's Gene. I am a creator and writer. I am best known for Spirit's Destiny.
And this is Ed from Shades of Vengeance. I've been working with Dorfe's on Fauna for a while now, and we've loved every minute of bringing this character to life together.
What I wanted to bring was some authenticity. You know, he is a black superhero, and I wanted to show the trials and tribulations that he have to go through in order to protect his community, especially as a black man. And I think the plotting and the writing, what Ed provided me for Fauna, it was such a remarkable thing. You know, I really had lots of fun writing this story with him. I just, it really elevated me as a writer.
I wanted to show a community of people from different backgrounds, different origins, living together and caring about each other. Fauna is a man who works to protect his community because of where they live, not because of who they are, and not just protecting specific friends or family members or fighting random crime in a big city, and that's not something that we've done before.
This looks badass. You gotta check it out. Speaking of checking things out, make sure to check out Agent Solo now on INDIEGOGO until April 22nd. The Lost Kids Seeking Smartland Part 2 of 2. It's got my friend Philippe Cagno taking over. Here he is.
Oh, hi everyone. My name is Felipe Cagno. I'm a comic book creator, and this is the Kickstarter to fund the second part of The Lost Kids.
Pretty badass, right? Alright, speaking of badass, The Gentleman number 2 is on. That's from FFC Comics. It's a Lovecraftian horror comic. Oliver Solomon, The Gentleman, returns. Chapter 2 of this standalone series. Can Oliver protect Esprit without losing his humanity? This is something new, and I'm going to let it play and let it explain it to you guys, because it's kind of an interesting concept.
Hi, I'm J.S. Earls, and I want to invite you to a new project some friends and I are starting.
And I'm Ben Avery. JS and I love stories and storytelling. We've both worked in many different mediums for story, including comics, animation, novels, audio drama, podcasting, and even puppets. Whatever it takes to tell a good story.
Working with other comics, story, and audio professionals, Ben, Nathan James Norman, and I are creating a new superhero audio drama universe.
We're creating this in the spirit of monthly comic books from the big publishers. And we're also writing this in the spirit of the Marvel Cinematic Universe or other franchises where each series and chapter tells its own story, but they fit together in a larger narrative. We're doing it in an audio format, with each episode being delivered free weekly to your favorite podcast app.
Ben and I have been in the comic industry for almost 20 years. We love the comic work we've done and are doing, but in this audio format, we're able to avoid things like the printing costs, the difficulty of wide distribution, and many other obstacles.
Storytelling in this format allows us to use the greatest artists possible, your own imagination. Although in the future, if things go well, we do hope to tell some stories in the comic book format. But storytelling in this format allows us to use actors and sound design to paint the picture in your mind. In your mind.
To do this, we're recruiting a cast of new and established actors to populate the supersonic podcomics universe.
So, we're kickstarting this project to get the funds needed for actors and writers and engineers and sound and music elements and web and podcast hosting in order to create and provide consistent, high-quality superhero adventures.
This is where we need you. If you're a professional or amateur actor, we need your talent. We're writing and producing the series ourselves, and we want to gather vocal talent from across the country. Only voice acting talent and a good microphone are required. Email us at the address on the screen for the current list of roles you can audition for, and for more information about how you can be a part of the Supersonic Podcomics universe.
We can't wait to share some fun, unique, and inspiring superhero stories with you. So for now, we invite you to join us. Actors and actresses, contact us. Lovers of good stories and superheroes and audiobooks and radio dramas, please help us out by pledging your support through Kickstarter.
And please share this with everyone.
Go to www.supersonicpodcomics.com for more information. Thank you so much for your time. Godspeed.
What do you guys think? Would I have the voice for it? Could I be a villain or a hero on a podcast? I like the idea. It's interesting. It's new. We don't generally put podcasts on the show, but I think this one's got a different feel to it. We're going to be paying attention and seeing how it shows up, and hopefully be talking about it a lot in the near future. Queen Shiva, Jungle Queen Shiva is part of us. And I don't know where you get a bikini in the jungle, but we're going to find out, so we're going to play this video.
Hi there, I'm Richard Boom. I'm from Boom Art Department, my art agency. Via my art agency, I met a Portuguese artist nicknamed Zu, Elusu Gouveia, which this artist amazed me. He has such an amazing art style, and his ideas, just the things he has done in the past for himself is it was just amazing. The fact that I was so impressed, the fact that I'm still so impressed is the reason that I'm today here helping him to create his own library with his comics now in print. So we are going to start out with Shiva.
All right, guys, you want to find out more about Shiva, please check out the Kickstarter. You know how to do it. Go to our site, go to the top, now on Kickstarter, and you can, now crowdfunding, I'm sorry, And click on the link and you'll be brought here and you'll be able to see the handyman stopping the bloodthirsty Castadina cartel requires a flawless man with the right tools for the job. That's on Indiegogo until the 29th. Brand new to the show, The Threat, issue 5. Let's check out what The Threat's doing.
Hey everybody out there in Kickstarter land, my name is Mark Schmidt, and I am the owner of Stratum Comics. Wanted to tell you a little bit about The Threat. It's a series created by myself and Floyd Shooter, probably about 20 years ago now. We've successfully gotten 4 issues out and live, ready for you to read. We're currently working on the 5th, which is what this Kickstarter campaign is for. I can tell you a little bit about the story. It's based in Houston, Texas in the year 2035. The human genetic makeup has degraded to such a point where even the smallest illness is killing people by the thousands. Get a cold one day, think you're fine, dead the next day. We're also dealing with a very low level of basic natural resources, which is causing governments to wage war against each other for those resources. All of this combined is causing the governments around the world to collapse from financial issues. They're relinquishing cities to corporations all over the world. Corporatocracy has become the prevailing government around the world. One man had the foresight to look into the issue of the human genetic makeup. He was able to find a way to reboot human DNA.
Alright, guys. Don't be a threat to making this fun. Get on Kickstarter today and back this amazing project. First time on our program as well, Legends of Para. Let's see what's going on with this.
Hello everybody, I'm Brian Pitts. I'm owner of INDIE Comics. We've been in operation since 2006 and we're here to talk about the launch of our Kickstarter for Legends Parallel. Here's Bill, writer and co-creator of Legends Parallel. And we just want to tell you guys a little bit about what we're trying to do going forward.
Legends Parallel, for those of you who don't know it, is based on the mathematical premises put forth by a guy named Hugh Everett III from like 1948 to 1954. He was a bit of a rock star physicist. He was banging his secretary, who he later married and made an honest woman of and raised a family with, while he was coming up with the multiverse theory. And we used his actual multiverse theory. In other words, all the multiverses were created at the Big Bang, and it's not just a bunch of mirror universes with an evil, better-looking version of me somewhere. So in our version of it, there are 5 Earths where humans have evolved and taken over the planet. On the other ones, we don't know. We don't care. There's too many to write about. But so we've got 5 Earths, each one very, very different from the others. In some, Africa was never colonized and it ended up taking over the world. And in others, it's just a complete war world. In others, it's a complete agrarian society where everyone's at one with nature. Each one is very different, and they're all trying to be controlled by this woman named Miss Vin, who is about as evil as you can get. And
that seems super interesting. We gave it 2 minutes because it covers so much ground. There's an extra 2 minutes and 54 seconds for you to watch on Kickstarter now, so get on over there. Super excited about this. This is someone who I've worked with who's been an editor for me on The Fourth Monkey. It's a collection of horror stories and art by women. Check it out. We're going to let this one play in entirety.
Hi, I'm Leah Letterman, and I want to tell you about Cafe Macabre, a collection of horror stories and art by women. This whole project is really a crime of opportunity. I'm a freelance editor, and as such, I have access to some really great writing minds. The inspiration for this came late at night. I was letting my dog out after I had just spent several hours editing horror stories by a couple of different authors. And, I'm editing them, which means I was elbow deep in those stories, and I'm coming up with bloodied nouns and verbs, and I was terrified because I was hearing the different characters from the different stories by the different writers in my head, and they were kind of talking to each other. And I thought, that's it. I knew I needed to gather those voices together in the same book and hear them talk to each other. And I wanted women's voices because, well, there's just not enough women in my life, and I like to hear what women have to say. It's worth listening to. This book is special because each story is accompanied by a piece of art from a female artist, specifically tailored for that story. And the result is horrific bliss. The stories and art all speak to each other, and it's like you're overhearing conversations in a smoky cafe or a really great party. I'm running Kickstarter to help me get this collection out to the printer and off the ground, and I'm extending you an invitation to my horror cafe. Each tier gets you a copy of the book and the artwork. Some tiers give you a chance to own originals or even help out with bonus stories. I want this to spread far and wide. I want you to look over your shoulder the next time you're alone and wonder whose voice it is you're hearing. It's all of us.
That's a really cool video. My hat's off to her. She did an amazing job. Already funded, working on stretch goals. Go over to Kickstarter and help Matt with those stretch goals. Brand new to the show, this is Tales of Nocturnia. This is from the heirs of Sealdor and my good friend Matt Knowles. And this is his music, by the way. We're going to listen to the whole thing because I love metal. Oh my, that is awesome. I'm in. Speaking of being in, check out Grimwood Crossing.
You know, this is my 4th time making a Kickstarter video, and it hasn't gotten any easier. Hey guys, my name's Connor Bartel, and with the help of my artistic collaborator Agan Ilhan, this is our 4th Kickstarter project. Grimwood Crossing is the product of 2 Kickstarter projects where we funded Volume 1 and Volume 2. Now we're back to put Volume 1 and Volume 2 together in one edition for 22 pages of new Grimwood Crossing story, a bestiary written by Bobby himself, a journal written by the sheriff while he was an apprentice, so you get some insight into his education. Overall, all these new stories and extras really continues Bobby's education towards being the sheriff. If you already read Grimwood Crossing, this is a good chance to pick up new stories and features, get a little bit more content for you. If you've never read Grimwood Crossing before, this is the perfect time to pick it up because it's the entire series in one book, and it's the only time you're ever going to get this. We also have extras like art prints, custom commissions. You can buy a printout of the Grimwood Crossing map, and if you've already pledged Grimwood Crossing before, you get the printout of the map for free with a physical purchase. That's just our special thanks to you guys for being with us since the beginning. Aguna and I have been toiling away at this project since 2015, I think. Wow, that's longer than I thought it was. But we're so excited to finally bring this entire series to a conclusion. This is what we've been working towards the whole time, getting the entire story in one big book. Plus, we were able to take the stories to places we didn't even think we were going to be able to with these new stories. 22 pages of new content. That's a whole issue's worth of new content. Well, anyway, thanks for checking out the campaign. We really hope you guys are interested in what we have to offer here. And we also just want to thank everyone that's been with us since the beginning. If you're new to Grimwood Crossing, I hope you enjoy it. If you're returning to Grimwood Crossing, I really hope you guys like the new stories.
That energy there should be able to be put into a bottle and sold. I need some of that most days, and one of the things that I need is to get myself a copy of the Zombieful World of Oz, a steampunk horror adventure.
The year is 1914. Dorothy Gale has spent the last 10 years in a mental hospital, undergoing extensive therapy and reconditioning to convince her that there is no land of Oz. She has now returned to a normal life until one night she is confronted by the zombie Winky Guard, led by Nico, the king of the flying primates. Just when all seems lost, 3 old friends arrive to aid young Dorothy. Hi, I'm Eric Hawkins, creator of the Zombieful World of Oz, a steampunk fantasy horror adventure story. The comic is complete. I am just looking to share my story with fans of all things Oz. With your help, I'll be able to get the Zombieful World of Oz printed and shared with the world. I'm offering several contributor levels that include variant covers, special editions, sketches, prints, bookmarks, and more. I hope you find something about this project that interests you. This is just the beginning to a much larger world. Won't you return with me to the Zombieful World of Oz? Thank you for considering backing this project.
That is awesome, and a great way to end our list today. But we're going to have more coming to you guys, and in the meantime, make sure to spend $1 on at least one of these that you have seen, and show support, attract attention, help fund projects, support creators, and help create new worlds. If you're creating a new world, get the book from the amazing Madeline Holly Rising of a 6 Kickstarter fame of Boston Metaphysical Society. It's on Amazon now. It's Kickstarter for the independent creator, a second edition, a practical and informative guide to crowdfunding, and soon to be crowdfunding is The Scientist 3 and Belial. That's it for me. This has been another edition of the Indie Advocates Network, and I am Mr. Anderson, who you can follow at MrAnderson.com, theindieadvocate.com, or theindiedevil.com. So there's plenty of reasons and plenty of ways to follow me. So go out there, follow me, find out more about me, because believe it or not, I create comics. And I create comics about fetish, monsters, and more. Oh my. So definitely check it out, and I'll talk to you guys in the next, I guess tomorrow, for those watching it live, and for those of you not watching it live, make sure that you check out as well this week's Comic-Con forecast. All right, guys, that's it. We're done. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you all. Go out there and support indie comics.